Yo, what's up, guys? Recap on what I did yesterday evening after knowing that there's no 2x. Maybe my mistake for not reading it correctly, but sure, it's not there. So we got to make different plans than the plans that I had. So I did a few things, and you can't really follow that because it's no longer here. You had the thing for the reset. I actually did do the reset in a kind of way where I made Messiah max level. I resetted him, and for that I could build the thing as well. While resetting him, I was also able to clear this one on the previous one where I had to make like a full 5-star or like a full level 50 in one of those. I think it was in the previous one over here or so. Yeah, make one level 50. I should have actually done that twice. I didn't do that twice, so I don't have the second one on the 50. That is definitely one of those things that I should have done. Didn't do it yet. But then, what is the game plan? So, I did mention already before, I need a lot of skill ups to actually get proper improvement. So, did already skill up the Messiah. I am planning to skill up the thing. I did already skill up the skill 2 fully. I am planning to skill up the Valerian. And with that, I have a proper team to go into Termaton, most likely. That is going to be the game plan. So with that, we have something to get a bit better gear. With that bit better gear, we can also start working on the skill ups for Kazuya. Or which I already did. Oh, that's actually true. I also resetted Sanya because I'm planning to use Linglo and Valeria for quite a bit. Probably will rebuild Sanya at some point, but for now I will be using those two. So that materia could all place in there. Then we have a team most likely already usable for Doki Doki. After that, it's probably working a little bit on Viper to also make Viper towards a 5-star. And then we also have enough work for a Aurora team. So with that, we're pretty much tackling all teams at the moment. Yeah, that's kind of the game plan for today. And let's see at the end of the day. So this is the intro of the video. End of the video is going to be the recap of how that worked out for this day. I am still saving those. That is one thing that you have to keep in mind. I'm still saving these. I'm sitting at 40 right now. I think like even if tonight it's not going to show that it's there tomorrow, the event is going to happen at some point given in time. So I will be saving those until that some point given in time. Might be a very long time, might be a short time. I have no clue, but I wish they would let me know. But yeah, that's the intro of the video. Let's see the recap after what I've done in the whole day in the recap of the day. So we're pretty much at the end of the day. We have about 60 left, which I'm actually slow clearing right now. I did manage to clear Termaton on this one with the very typical team that pretty much everyone is running. It's definitely not solid and sound yet because I need Valerian on a little bit higher stats of HP and defense to just give better heals and that kind of stuff. And I'm also probably wanting to get a few more like black flags in and those kind of things. This set is completely gone right now, which is currently on here because I'm also doing the health for on the team of Doki Doki. I haven't done Aurora yet, but we did manage to clear the Termaton health 4, and we're also doing the Doki Doki health 4. And I'm actually doing that a little bit on manual, because I'm using the sleep character, and the sleep one is definitely a little bit better if you do manage to do it on the manual itself. And the team that I'm using for that is going to be, well, you kind of see it on the screen already. But let's actually do one run. Let's just show like how fast or slow this is in the first place. It actually has a super good rotation right now. And this is the Messiah. And the Messiah is, of course, also sharing that with the thing the moment he's going on for his set. Wait, did I switch anything on his set where... Oh, yeah, it's just from the base. Like, I did max the thing skill 1 all the way until 4 as well. Which also does help a lot with, like, other stages like Any-Sync Echo and those kind of good stuff. But just to showcase the rotation that we have over here right now. Okay, if we're getting slowed... Like, that's the thing, these bosses sometimes have slightly bit of weird speeds, where sometimes they do outspeed me, sometimes I do outspeed them. It's kind of weird, but rotation in most cases is where I land the armor break first, I go for her skill, then Lily does boost up the Messiah, but doesn't fully take a turn, and then Messiah can take a turn on the AoE sleep, and the AoE sleep also makes you do more damage. So with that, we have a pretty fast rotation in for clearing first wave. And then second wave, it's kind of playing around with slows and, or not necessarily slows, but sleeps on the skill 1, just to get those in at a right rotation, because the first wave pretty much just dies to the Messiah getting his rotation in. It's letting things live by a little bit of HP. It kind of depends like how many of these shells I did remove or not. Most of the time, there's just one of those still in there. And that kind of does determine like how fast a run is or isn't going to be. But in most cases, first wave, no one ever has any problem with, right? That's always the easiest one. And then the second wave is the one that you have to be a little bit more careful for. But I will show you the modules that I'm using on my team right now, and you're gonna be like, yo, this is like the lowest modules you've seen in your life. And that is going to be the case that I did fully farm on shells and GP Outpost. I didn't do GP Outpost until today and pretty much yesterday a little bit as well, because I simply thought I was gonna do that with the doubler, and with the doubler it of course would have had a lot more value. But the doubler did not come, so that's kind of the issue. We're actually going to be able to check if the doubler is there in like 25-ish minutes. But I have a feeling that it's not going to be there, because in the end, they did not really mention that it was going to be there in the first place in the whole event list that they did. Which actually never really checked that I didn't even know they had a full event list, what they were doing. So yeah, the next event list will be on the 19th of June. So maybe at that time they start adding it into the events. Who knows? I definitely don't. But yep, we cleared this first wave. Definitely a longer rotation on the first wave than I normally have. But you definitely want to be saving your skills, and therefore a manual run is a lot better in most cases than a auto run. Because you just use the skills at the right moment, you save all of your skills for the second rotation. And in this case, you can once again go off with all of those proper skills. In this case, we do have, I think we have our sleep moving right after. That's actually kind of bad, especially because we were armor break from the previous wave. We do have a few gigabytes in there, which definitely do once again help out. Gigabytes, so good. And now we have a bunch of sleeps in, and I think all of those are slept. Yep, perfect, all of those were slept. And now we can go for rotations and heals and sleeps and everything like that. If we hit you right now, no, let's just let you take a nap, you simple bastard. So yeah, that's where you get some good damage in. We could go for this. Yeah, if we do this, we probably get the hack in state. Or we already had the hack in state. But we also have the Ling Low heal, which is always really good. And then from here, you just sleep this bitch again. Yay. Just before you wanted to take a turn. Go back to sleep. Kind of feels like the scene of Iron Man and the Hulk. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. But yeah, as you can see, if you have the debuffs gone, or if you have the buffs gone, you have a few debuffs in, then suddenly you start dealing a lot more damage to this shit. And that's why the previous wave took so long, because it was just a bunch of those things didn't actually get removed, and then it just takes a bit longer. But this also does show I don't need a real mocha for this just yet. Might I need it the moment I start doing the Inferno? Probably, but that is still a probably. That's not a guarantee that I would have to have a Romoka for Inferno. If I can do it without Romoka on Inferno, I will do it without. If I do need it at some point that I really say is like, okay, it's just not working out, or I can make like a 1 minute something team with Romoka, then of course I'm gonna do it with Romoka at some point, because she only needs the skill 3, but then again, only needing the skill 3 is still 4 perfect Lattices, which I don't really like to give to her in the first place. But yeah, as you can see, it's a very safe run as long as I do it on manual. That's the thing. But I will showcase my shell or my modules in a second. You're gonna be looking like, yo, these modules fucking ass. Like, trust me, there's no stats to these. What is on this one? Attack bonus with speed. I preferred that on a 3-line because or a 3 set, because the 3 thingies in there do give me a chance to keep them permanently the moment I want to go for 12, 8, and 6. But let me show you the modules that I'm using. So Lily is using modules that are pretty much outstanding for most. We have one over here, but as you can see, pretty much no speed in those whatsoever. We were using the claws, which is also using still 2 uniques over there, another unique over there, 2 outstandings over there. A bunch of them are not even 15. Now this one is actually nearly 15, but that is the set for you. We are using the Linglo. Linglo is using +9, super gangster. This one I recently upgraded, which is actually one of the very few good things out of this whole set, which is just an absolute trash set with a bunch of uniques and +9s and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm doing this with the worst of the worst trash. Wait, I'm missing 1 unit, so these 2 I had. This one I showcased already. Ah, I'm missing, of course, this one over here. And this one over here is actually having a bit more of a maxed out set for 15s, but it's epic, 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 and epic, and then outstanding. So pretty much no mythic gear whatsoever, clearing health 4, and that is the main thing you want to do. If you then put a little bit of effort towards manualing a bunch, you immediately skip all the way from epic all the way to mythic, and you all the way go for the the 3 line on that, because the 3 line definitely does help out a bit more. And yeah, because of that, I also still have a Gucci amount of Etheria coin left. That is definitely something a lot of people will notice. Like, you finally get the good gear, but you have no resource to actually upgrade them. So that is kind of the downside on that. Let's actually see this thing that we just got a second ago. I got a whole bunch that are just flat attacks and that kind of shits, which always very frustrating. Wait, which was the one that we just got? Ah, it was an attack percent. In my mind, it was an HP. Well, let's see if this rules. First one, no. Second one, also no. Then I'll probably keep it as is, because as mentioned, you need, if you want to go for a full 12 set, a 12 set pretty much you want to just do in 4 pieces. You don't want to do that in 5 pieces. And the moment that you have a 2, you will guarantee do that in 5 pieces, which is just kind of ass. So for that reason, any 12 set, the moment you have like a 3 piece on them, they're good. If you have an 8 set, such as, for example, what's a good 8 set example? Oh, Fury is an 8 set example. Fury is an 8 set. In an 8 set, you can do with 1 2 piece, because then you have a 2 3 3 being an 8. So if you have one of those that are on 2 piece and it's really good, max those out. If it's one of those that you get on a 2 piece for something that has to be a 12 set, probably kind of slack on it, even if it has good stats. You can, of course, use it as a broken thing the moment that you get like an insane amount of speed roll on it. But otherwise, I would probably kind of like skip it. So that's all for today, folks. So what is my goal at the moment? So we did do Doki Doki for a bit. Termaton is working kind of more or less. Aurora, I cannot really clear that as of yet. I think I just want to go for a Heinrich skill up on the S3, but I will see when I do that. Maybe I'll do that the day after tomorrow. But first of all, I'm going to be doing a bunch more Doki Doki just to get like a little bit more proper gear in. Then I'll be going towards Termaton for a little bit. And then I want to make sure that I can do some Aurora and just get a little bit of Aurora in there, because Bulwark gear is really insanely good. So that's the plan. That's coming up soon. I did one more thing after the stream, however, which I did not think of for a little bit. So I was stuck on this one where I think it was this one over here, what you have to make 2 Animus level 50. I did do one by resetting the Messiah, or making it 50 and then resetting it. This one was immediately cleared after, and this one was immediately cleared after. But how did I get this? Well, I got a whole bunch of these. And where did I get those? Might be somewhat of a waste, maybe a little bit, but I was like, I don't want to be stuck on that one any longer. And if you go to the Arena shop, in the Arena shop, you actually can buy these unlimited. And for every buy you do, you get 2, which is definitely a pretty good buy, to be honest. That's one of the few things you can buy unlimited from RTA. So once again, very important to RTA. Sure, I could have had a bunch of pulls in these and that kind of stuff, but then you get a bunch of shitty units anyways. You get closer to the pity, so that would have been a thing. But yeah, that was actually my thing. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna try it, and then from here on out, I probably will be focusing more on this. But this shop still does have a whole bunch of days where I can get this in. So I can get that next week, but I think the week after still counts for this as well. And you can easily get like, you get 2k per week. So doesn't really matter that I stagnated on that a little bit. But this definitely did help me out, which is gonna make the thing hit a lot harder, make a lot of dungeons easier. And I also did clear the achievements on that. And because of clearing the achievements, I got even more rewards, such as these and this and more of that, and more of this and that, and like you can just continue on and you get more summons over there anyway. So that is my recommendation for that, to also do that. Guys, you know where to find me: YouTube, Twitch, links in the description down below, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.